11. What's up, everybody? This is Jester, and that's Phoebe, and this is Too Much Intimacy. You just got excited. What do you want to say? You want to do the intro?
I just got excited that that it was episode 11 because I like the number 11.
It's a good number.
It's a really good number.
It's the first half of 1111.
Yeah, I feel like I get a lot of 1111s and 111s.
Yeah.
711s.
Oh, thank heaven.
711 is a good one.
For 7-Eleven. You don't seem like the type of person who shops at 7-Eleven.
I just remember when I was growing up that, like, waking up for school, it doesn't matter what time my alarm was going off, it was probably after, maybe it would go off at 7? I don't know, but I would always wake up at 7-Eleven every morning.
Wow. Good way to start the day.
And then I Googled it. Just like anytime you're like, when you start going down the spiritual path and then you just start Googling like spiritual significance of anything random that seems a little bit odd.
Yeah. All right. So what's the spiritual significance?
I don't remember. It's just like, I feel like all of those angel numbers, they're just like, I feel like they're all like basically the same thing, which is like, you're on the right track. It's just like something encouraging.
It's true.
So I'm on the right track.
It is true. Really, life boils down to like just whatever you think about it. So if you think the numbers mean you're on the right track, great.
Then you must be on the right track.
I think that the number 666 is definitely a lucky number.
You think it's a lucky number? Why?
I don't. That was a joke.
Oh.
I have a friend who keeps seeing 666s like on receipts. And
is this still happening? Because you told me the story like years ago, and I thought it was freaky.
It was.
I thought it was really freaky when you told it to me. Do you know this person still?
Yeah, I haven't asked him in the like last month or whatever, but he definitely mentioned it last year.
Does he still work for you?
Yeah.
What's his name? Tell me.
I'm not gonna fucking
tell me in blinks. We have to learn Morse code of our eyes. Okay. So it still happens to him?
Well, I haven't talked to him about it recently, but he definitely said it like, earlier this year.
That's so he still is freaked out and he thinks he's like cursed or something? Maybe.
I don't know.
Okay.
I think probably I think freaked out is a little too that's a little too much to describe it. Like, I think that's a little harsh on the language. I think it just...
He's chill about it? He just thinks it's
He's chill about it, but
creepy?
it gets in his head a little bit. Yeah. It's just like, it's weird.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Bubs. He's a perfect boy.
He's so perfect. It's weird we're podcasting on a Wednesday.
And we're wearing shorts.
We should probably address the great white elephant in the room.
What is the great white elephant in the room?
My thighs.
My
pasty white thighs.
I thought you were going to say it was your DICK.
Oh, God. I hope that's not visible.
It's not.
Guys, please.
I'm sorry.
Please don't look directly at our crotches. Please don't do it. Whatever you do right now, don't look directly at our crotches.
Should that be the name of the episode?
That should be.
Don't look at our crotches.
Don't look at our crotches. Oh, now I'm going to be all crotch conscious.
You can just put monkey in your lap. It's fine.
Oh, that's a good call. Yeah, that's why we have these guys. Hey, a little monkey in my lap. You put lamb chop.
I don't know if monkey's big enough for your lap.
Thanks, babe.
No, I'm fine. I think I'm fine.
Thanks, babe. This one's starting out kind of sexy then, huh?
What?
Oh.
Your creamy white thighs?
Creamy white thighs. That's the title. Oh.
I shouldn't be talking. I haven't really seen the sun in a while.
Yeah, but you're hot. I feel weird. I feel like I wasn't really believing that we were going to podcast tonight because we kind of went back and forth on it. We've been trying to do it for a couple of days. Is it Wednesday? I called it Wednesday. It's actually
It's
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
We've been going back and forth on it for a couple of days. It's been real busy. We had a pretty wild weekend, which maybe we'll talk about. Maybe we won't. Maybe we won't.
Wow, good job. Good job with your sentence finishing.
Maybe we won't, but but I was really tired today. Still kind of am. And I was like, we were planning to do it tonight. I was like, I don't think I can, babe. And then you were like, well, you didn't say this with words, but you said it with your little pouty face. You were just like,
I said,
You did, yeah. You said, and I said, are you upset that we're not going to podcast? And you said, a little bit.
You said, are you disappointed?
You disappointed.
Ooh,
Coyote's making an appearance.
She jumped right over the bench.
Yeah. She did that last time too, didn't she?
Like a gymnastic girl. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was. Well, because I don't know. I get a little bit attached sometimes to the schedules in my head of the loose plans that we make. You know, it wasn't set in stone, but we were like, oh, let's try to do it tonight.
Yeah. And it does feel like we're trying to do it. We're trying to like record on Sunday and then like publish by Tuesday.
Yeah.
But last week it was like we recorded on Sunday, but we couldn't really publish until like Thursday.
Yeah.
And now it's Tuesday, so we're like getting all off track.
I'm trying to tell you without using my words.
That I should stop playing with my monkey.
No, actually, I didn't even mind the monkey.
What were you trying to
I think we should stop talking about our scheduling difficulties.
Why?
Because I don't want to listen to it. Why would anyone else want to listen to it?
I don't know. Let us know in the comments
It's
if you care about our
boring.
schedule. All right, so what should we talk about? You got a subject? I'm just trying to keep the conversation flowing.
All right. Yeah, well, I do feel like something significant has happened for me.
Yeah.
Personally.
What happened?
Well, kind of unexpectedly, but I just learned that our local little town has a run club that goes all year long, and they meet once a week, and they go, you can do like 3 miles, you could do 5 miles, you could do 8 miles. They meet at this cool arcade bar. Anyway, it's just very chill. But I went, and oh gosh.
You're making friends. Are you talking about the friends that you're making?
Yeah.
Or are we gonna be judgmental about the Valley Girl status of them? Should we make fun of Valley Girls?
Oh my gosh, I just got shy, babe, because I got stoned.
You got stoned and you got shy. I guess I'm gonna have to pick up the pieces here. Playing with monkey. You guys are in for a good one. Yeah. So, well, you were kind of.
Okay, I feel like I should back up the story a little bit.
I feel like we have to talk about your inner Valley Girl.
I have to give a little context.
Okay.
So, I am from Tucson, Arizona. That is where I grew up.
Yeah.
In the suburbs. It was like a whole landscape of like builder grade houses. You know, like it wasn't a cookie cutter neighborhood that I lived in, but like, you know, everything was built in the 80s.
Yeah. It was kind of suburban America.
Everything looks like Adobe because it's like a copy of like actual like natives houses, but in like, you know, shittier, cheaper
fake
looking
Adobe
version. Anyway, I shouldn't say such bad things about this place, but just to give a little context, when I did my Iboga trip and there was a point where I looked inside my brain and I saw like the gears of my inner workings of myself. They were like plastic. It was like made out of I don't know, like shit that you would find in a landfill in America, you know? That's what it looked like.
Wow.
But when I looked at it, I was like, oh, damn, that is me. You know? This like kind of trashy, now that I live on the East Coast, I look at that and I'm like,
trashy.
I'm kind of trashy, kind of a trashy girl. Like, I come from a trashy culture.
Okay, I don't know where. I've not been to the place where you grew up, but where your parents live now is not even close to trashy.
I mean, yeah, I don't mean trashy in the way of like poor. I mean trashy in the way of like just like typical American culture
Just
of
not
like the
from New
late
York.
90s, early 2000s, which is like fucking Pepsi ads and Britney Spears and
that's true.
DiGiorno pizza
Yeah, that
is
is-
like the height of deliciousness
yeah, it's not fucking delivery.
in life. Like everything is super processed and like anyway,
Yeah.
I that's where I grew up.
See, when you say trashy, I think like trailer park.
Okay, well, I don't know what other word to use, but that's the word I'm going to use.
Okay.
I hope I described it adequately.
I think you did a good job.
I think I did a good job too.
So,
Go ahead.
no. How is this connected to Run Club?
So I'm trying to give some description of how I think the DNA of my actual self is.
Mhm.
We're going like really deep to tell this story
Super
of the
deep.
Run Club. So basically, but now I live on the East Coast. I feel like I moved to New York and it felt like the first place that was home for me. It's like old, you know?
Yeah.
The buildings are like real materials like brick or a stone or concrete. Like
Yeah.
everything just feels like solid and like it has a history. Like it comes from this like kind of polished place,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Like I feel like the heart of the, I don't know, older architectural soul, like pre-war buildings and stuff, it has this like solidness and this elegance,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I feel like I moved to New York and I was like, oh, this is me. And then I was like, oh, like I'm actually this person. Grew up locked in this like soulless world, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like I had this like whole like very fun, amazing, arty, but like very party kind of persona in college. That was like my first foray into early adulthood.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I had long hair,
Mhm.
like hang out at like fraternity houses.
You still have this picture on your driver's license. Isn't that wild?
Oh yeah, when I was 21.
Yeah.
I was a different person. And then I moved to New York. I applied for design school and I was like, dropped into, I went to like Parsons, dropped into the, like the heart of the like one of the coolest, I wouldn't even say now it's one of the coolest neighborhoods, but the people that walk around.
Wait,
that,
what
like,
neighborhood is Parsons
that
in?
Union Square area is like,
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
you know, like Fifth Avenue, like downtown. There's a lot of like people just walk around. They look like they're in magazines, but they all
Yeah.
look so beautiful and unique. And there's just like they all have this like special sparkliness about them.
Yeah, Union Square is a unique place.
And anyway, I feel like I quickly was like, oh, I need to find myself in my new best self. Like, who am I? What is my like style? Identity, like who am I inside, you know, like
Yeah.
what is my relationship to like being sexualized by culture, being like
being a hot girl.
girl. But yeah, cut my hair off, started dating someone who was like 18 years older
Yeah.
than me, started hanging out with people who were twice my age.
Your personality took a big turn.
Yeah, going to like the Hamptons, and I was like
The Hamptons.
from like Forever 21 to like it's time to like put some Burberry in your closet to like raise the
Oh
level
my
of
God.
who you're hanging out
I
with
don't know
now.
I don't know how you ended up dating me.
Anyway, this is a very long story, and it is a puff piece about myself.
Keep puffing, baby. Puff, puff, pass.
I'm looking at Horsey now, who's under the camera. My
I love
stuffed
that
animal.
you put Horsey there.
My stuffed animal from when I was so small.
That's funny.
And it's just, okay, now we're leading up to the Run Club story. So basically, like, fast forward through me going through my spiritual journey. I'm like, who am I all over again? Moving out here to, like, upstate area, you know? And there's not a lot of people out here, like, around us that are, like, from the West, right?
Yeah.
So
Well, Yeah.
So I kind of had like slipped into this like state of mind where I was like, oh, I just have like an East Coast soul. Like I dress kind of like a preppy boy. I was like, I am not like connected to any of that. Like I never wanted to live in Arizona. Like I always knew I wanted to move to New York. And I started having these dreams. So when I was in college, I worked at this like cool sushi restaurant, right? And it was like the party place on Sunday nights where like all the industry people would come because we were open the latest.
Yeah.
So like the other nice restaurants in the area,
gosh.
they would all come and like get wasted
you
and
were at
eat
the spot.
food.
Yeah.
I was at the spot of Tucson, Arizona
Yeah.
in my mind. I
You
mean,
were the
but
cool-
it was cool.
You were the coolest girl in Tucson. And then you moved to the big city.
All right. I'm trying to finish my story and not vomit in my mouth.
Sorry.
And I started having dreams that I was working there again.
Mm-hmm.
It's like seared into my soul as like this place that really like shaped a big part of me, or like who I became later. I started having dreams that I'm working there, and in the dream I was like, oh, it's so funny. I've dreamt about this so many times. And now I'm actually back here, and I'm actually happy to be working at this restaurant.
Yeah.
And I'm like trying to learn the menu. I'm like, oh my God, I have to get it together. People are asking me questions. I don't know what the menu changes are. And you know, I'm seeing people there, and I wake up and I was having like multiple dreams of just like that time of my life. And I'm like, what's going on? My subconscious is in a different place. You know, it wasn't like bad. It was just like a deep part of me is there right now. Yeah. This is like a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And then last week, this girl who you were in a movie with.
Yeah.
I think you met her. You met her like a year ago.
Yeah.
We
filmed about a year ago.
I heard about her. You were like, oh, she lives in LA, but she's from here and she's going to move back here or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, is she cool? And you're like, not really.
I didn't say.
And you were like, I don't think you would like her. You were like,
I didn't.
You
think
said
you
something.
would like her.
You might have said like she has like a little bit basic vibes or something like that, or not woo vibes or something like that.
Like maybe Valley Girl. I don't know. Like LA, just LA, kind of LA vibes. Just like the New Yorker judging LA. Strong energy.
LA vibes. Like LA Times vibes. Is that what we're calling it now?
We're calling it LA Times.
We don't even know.
I
if
feel
that's
really
correct.
bad because I definitely want, like, this person is very cool and I want them to
I know.
listen
I'm gonna
to
build
our
there.
episode.
I'm building.
Jesus.
I'm building there.
Okay.
It's a long story.
It's a good story, babe.
Okay, so you told me about this person. Anyway, I met her, and it turns out we had like some really fun and interesting conversations together.
Yeah.
Even though I will say, we can never share this podcast.
We can.
I will say she was dressed a little bit like Britney Spears.
She was dressed.
She was dressed like super hot. I mean, I was like, dang, she looks good.
She was a film festival. She was nominated for an award. She like had to, she was playing. She was being a star.
Was doing it up. Anyway. Yeah. Anyway, we had some nice conversations, and then I learned a funny thing that she works for a magazine that we had just been like nominated for like best interior designer, by this magazine. And I'm like, oh my God, this is so like this is something,
Like, yeah, it's a connection.
I felt like we hit it off. There was this other extra connection, and anyway, then like a week later, so now she lives up here.
Yeah.
She lives probably like less than 10 minutes away from us, I'm guessing.
I can't remember where she lives, but she lives in the same town.
She lives very close, and she invited me to go to this run club, and I was like, I don't know. That doesn't really seem like my thing. I'm not a serious runner. But they did move the treadmills at the gym into the area that I don't like. And the last few times I've gone to the women's gym, they're full. The treadmills are full.
Thumbs down, gym. Bad move.
Thumbs down. But anyway, I was not sure. I was like not committing to going. And then the first day that she was going to try out the run club, I thought about it like the hour before, and I was like, I'm a little bit excited to go.
Yeah.
So I decided to go to the run club last week.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I get there. I go there by myself. I don't know where she is. We only talk on Instagram. And I go in, and I immediately, this awkward thing when you go somewhere yourself, and I look over and I see this girl by herself. I'm like, oh my God, she looks just like this girl I was roommates with in college who also worked at that restaurant. I'm like, oh, she looks like Raquel. And then she looks up immediately. She looks up at me. She's like, oh, hi, are you new here? introduces herself. She's like, "Oh, is it your first time here?" I'm like, "Yeah, my friend. Actually, it's also her first time. She told me about it. She just moved here, back here from LA." And they're like, she's like, "Wait, what? What is your friend's name? Where did she move from? When did she move?"
Oh my God.
And then she calls over to another girl nearby, and she's like, "Hey, like, what is your friend's name? Is your friend's name Jessie?" And she's like, "No." Anyway, turns out this whole little girl crew of people at the run club who I just met, they're all from LA, or they lived there, you know, they grew up there and they moved here.
Yeah.
And it's just, and then Jessie walks up. I'm like, "Oh, hey, Jessie, I found all the LA people for you." Because she like really loves LA. And she's, I feel like her soul is like that, is that vibe.
Do you think Jessie really loves LA? Do you think she misses LA? She was kind of proud of LA this was a year ago when we were in rehearsal. You know, we had this drive from the Hudson Valley to Manhattan where we were rehearsing. And so we were chopping it up, and she was like, you know, we're having the actor conversation of like New York versus LA. I've lived there. Oh, how compare, blah, 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 blah. LA people are all this. New York people are all this. Blah, energies, you know.
The thing that you do.
It's the bullshit, the thing that you do, the bullshit that you talk about the other person's city. And it did seem like she really liked it. But I just always got the sense, and maybe this is because I always got the sense I was like, she's faking it a little bit. She misses the Hudson Valley.
Yeah, well, I think it's a mixed bag. You know, like how we feel leaving New York. Like,
yeah,
this feels like the right place to be right now.
Yeah.
The best place for us to be right now.
Yeah.
But you can still miss the other place.
For sure.
But anyway, I went to this run club one time. It's once a week. And now, like, I'm on the group text. Now Jessie's going up. They're running a race in September. They're all renting a house together.
You met one of these girls out at the 420 party, right?
And it's just like things are moving fast.
Yeah. You're like immediately being sucked into this friend group. I haven't met any of these women besides
and then
Jessie.
a different person. Yeah. She is also, it's funny now that I want to talk about her. I'm like, I think she is very cool, but it was so interesting because I'm talking to these people, and immediately afterwards, I'm like, oh my gosh, they're so LA. They just talk. There's just this different way that these people talk, you know?
It's like the Valley Girl talk.
And I feel like I'm very familiar with it. I didn't grow up in LA, obviously.
You grew up in Tucson. Arizona's like,
I feel like that kind of southwestern, like the culture is like steeped from LA, so like that's what's cool.
Yeah.
So the whole like Valley Girl, like plastic surgery, like perfect everything is you feel that very strongly. That's like one of the only few bits of culture that you get.
Yeah. Well, it's a new city. It's its eyes are pointing to the west. It doesn't have the long history of New York, but it's got, it's closest to LA, so it's going to lean into that
that's its
LA
closest
history.
to like mecca of creativity.
Yeah, exactly. Although, well, you've lived there, but like, would you say there's like a Spanish influence at all, being so close to the border? Like a Mexican influence? I'm sure the Mexican food
there
is really
definitely
good.
is. There definitely is.
Yeah.
I mean, I shouldn't talk so much poop on Tucson, where I grew up.
Tucson's awesome.
Because it has like a college town thing going on. It's a little bit of a hippie town. It's a little arty.
Phoenix would be ass, but Tucson is a good town to be from. Phoenix is ass. Phoenix is terrible.
It's ass? I've never heard.
You've never heard me say ass before? It's just ass. It's ass. It's just ass. I don't know. It's disgusting. It's come on. Phoenix is the worst city in America.
The worst city in America?
It's the most boring city in America. It's just grid. It's on the desert. It's hot. What
about like Oklahoma City?
Oklahoma City probably sucks too, but I've only been there. Oklahoma City at least feels like it's a little bit older than Phoenix. Phoenix feels like it is just like they copy pasted downtown LA,
there's some nice areas though.
Phoenix is garbage, but Tucson's pretty great. Out west in Phoenix, it's pretty cool. Tempe's fun. Glendale's Glendale. But like out west, Why are we talking Phoenix? Why are we
I
talking
don't
Arizona
know.
geography?
You just
I'm
keep
sorry.
going.
I apologize. You take the ball back. I've been a bad kitten.
I don't know. I don't remember where I was in my whole story. Anyway, yeah. I just I feel like we might be going a little too far in telling all the details of this story.
Well, if we don't publish it, we don't publish it.
I feel like my judgment might have lapsed a little bit
No, I think it's fine, babe.
with the weed. But what was
Because
I gonna
ultimately, so what
say?
I
Okay.
well, I was gonna say you kind of have an inner Valley girl, so we're kind of making fun of these Valley girls.
So I realized,
and this is why
and something else I've also talked about recently is that one of my favorite musical artists is Kesha.
Kesha.
But I will, from my pseudo-intellectual East Coast side of my soul, I will defend Kesha and say that who she is as a person and as an artist is amazing. But I've said this multiple times. Every time I've tried to like listen to her talk in an interview or something, I'm like, she sounds so stupid. I cannot listen to her talk. It is so annoying to listen to her talk.
Oh, babe.
And I realized also I had like this crazy, I feel like I had like all these weird synchronicities with this girl who I invited, who came to the 420 party, who I just hung out with for the first time on 420. She came to this like cool local event.
Yeah.
And part of me was like, okay, yes, obviously I am going to do this next social thing with her because we have so many things in common and it's so easy, like everything that she is talking about. So we had these long conversations about moving from New York as a person who like loves New York City so much and moving out of the city and like basically adjusting to like a completely different culture and like place of life when you move to where we moved.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is like 90 minutes outside the city.
Yeah.
And like small towns, you know, I mean like it's a cool area where we live.
It's a cool area. We live in a cool small area.
But it's small. It's just different. It's just so different.
It's very different. Yeah.
And all the things that she was saying, I was like, yes, like we've had this conversation so many times.
Yeah.
It's such a thing. So it makes sense. I know exactly where her head is at.
Right. Exactly.
But my brain was like, part of me was just like a little bit annoyed for some reason.
Yeah.
And I'm like, then I'm telling you about it and I'm talking to you about it and you're like, you keep talking about this girl.
This
like,
girl.
What is up?
She's exactly.
What is up? She's really gotten under your skin.
She's a strong energy in your life.
She's a strong energy in my life. And and then I started learning all these details about her boyfriend, and he's from New York, but he was living in the Denver area in Colorado, is obsessed with Colorado.
That's where I'm from, and it's the best.
And so she went to live, they were doing long distance, and then she went to live there, and she didn't like it at all. It was like a thing. They were like going to break up basically. And then they decided to move here instead.
She couldn't handle Colorado. That makes me very sad.
Anyway, I was just like, yes, everything you're saying, like all the annoyances we have, they were the same about like weird little things, you know, like how I'm like, oh my God, I would never live in Colorado. She understood, even though, you know, I'm not saying I think objectively it's a good place to live.
Yes.
But for me, not.
It's because you judge the Tucson girl. It's because you are judging your own roots.
Colorado girl and Tucson girl are not the same girl. But
they're not the same girl, but you're ashamed of this being from the West. You're ashamed of being a provincial. You know, like you're now the pseudo intellectual and you're looking down upon just the like, you know, you're part of the elite. You're part of the East Coast elite now.
I think I would prefer to use my own words to describe the situation.
Okay.
Okay, it was interesting to hear your take on it, though.
Okay, go back to your soapbox, please. I will shut up, and you will continue to talk.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's all right.
This is something that I learned about myself.
What?
I don't like to hear other people summarize things like that. Because it never feels as true as the way I say it. Even if we're saying the same thing.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's because you're not saying it, babe. Nobody can reflect accurately back, you know.
Is that true?
It's true. Of course.
Yeah,
I mean, unless they're like really tuned into, like they would had to have been there. Like you know,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
because you're not getting another angle. You're just getting
Maybe if you're Siamese twins.
maybe if you're Siamese twins.
But I'm not sure. I've never been a Siamese twin.
You haven't?
I don't think so.
I thought you and Danielle were Siamese for a little bit.
Anyway, so
Sorry.
we're going on a double date with her and
Okay,
her
yeah.
boyfriend.
I'm being
He
pulled
also
into
likes
the-
disc golf. She also doesn't really
can't
like
wait.
disc golf. I'm like, I'll go with
God,
the group.
you guys are gonna be BFFs.
I am not. We are not going to be BFFs.
If I like this guy, it is on. You're gonna go
And
disc golf.
next
I know I'm
week-
gonna like this
And
guy.
next week we're going with 2 other girls from the Run Club, Jessie, and this other girl who I met who is from Texas. You know,
Oh, I got an
similar
idea.
culture.
Let's put him through the ringer. If it goes, sorry, go ahead.
No. Yeah, I would rather go ahead.
Okay, go ahead. Just go ahead.
We're going next week. It's the longest story that ever was. We're going to tell the story until the batteries die on the recorder.
Oh my goodness.
Anyway, we're going next week. She's like, oh, there's this dream collective place in our like town that we live in. I've never heard of this place, and they have some like event. It's like what is it called? It's like relaxation, like happy hour Tuesdays or something.
Ooh, that's fun.
So at 7 p.m. they do like light movement, they do yoga, and there's like a guided meditation.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds so nice.
That does sound nice. So
Anyway,
you're
we're
gonna
all
do that
going.
next Tuesday.
We're all going next week.
All right. So now we know your social plans for the next 7 days.
Sorry.
That sounds nice, babe. You're going right into. You're getting a friend group. I feel a little threatened. Can I tell you why I feel threatened?
Why do you feel threatened?
Because right now, kind of socially, I have a little bit of the upper hand, right? Because I have more close friends. Like, we've got Sean and Cass, and we're pretty equal there because it's kind of the couple friendship, you know? It's like, oh, we found our couple where, like, you know, it just, like, it goes. And then, like, we both have, but nobody else has, like, like all of the friends we've made in the Hudson Valley have been couple friends. There's no, you don't have a flock of girls, and I don't have a flock of guys, but I do have a flock of guys in the city. Like, I have lots of flocks in the city.
So many birds.
I've got so many different birds. You know, I've got so many people that I want to invite up here. You know, like I'm so popular.
I want to start making a cawing sound.
Oh my God. Caw-caw, caw-caw. I think I probably peaked the microphone on that one. Okay, what now? Why, when you give me these looks that shut me up?
I thought you were going to continue your story.
What was I talking about?
Oh, I forgot. This probably just means we're going to have to move along.
I guess we're just going to have to move along. No, yes, that's right. But now if you're going to get like a gaggle of girls and you're going to have the upper hand, because I'm not going to be able to go hang out with the gaggle. I'm going to have to get guys. So this guy better be great.
You better make a local sign-up sheet, like a baseball team.
That's a great idea.
For
Looking for buddies.
Looking for buddies. You should put your face on
We should
it.
start a disc golf team. This is what I'm going to do. If I connect with this guy, me, him, and Sean are starting a disc golf team, all right? We are taking over this Hudson Valley, babe. We really are.
Okay, go on ahead. Go on right ahead.
I'm excited.
Well,
I'm having a
maybe if you go to the
blast.
Run Club, just like a
I can't
whole
run.
new group of friends will come and suck you in.
It's mostly girls to the Run Club, isn't it?
It's not like, it's maybe like 60%.
How many dudes my age are there?
I don't know, babe. I didn't really pay that much attention to them. Maybe there were like 6.
Of guys my age? Well, all right.
It's a pretty big group.
I could be a gaggle of guys.
Maybe
I don't know why I imagined as being like old men.
You know, I on the theme of my never-ending story, I went in the Discord today, which I don't go in there a lot, and I saw that Sean posted this picture, which was very cool, and I saved it to my phone.
Let's see it. Your perception of me is a reflection of you.
It's a cool picture. I wonder if we can put this in the picture in the show notes.
Sure.
Your perception of me is a reflection of you. My reaction to you is an awareness of me. So.
Wait, let me see this.
I'm just going to pick up where I didn't like what you were saying about my story.
Okay.
Which was
your perception of me is a reflection of you. My reaction to you is an awareness of me. This is a great.
The art is so good.
Yeah. That could be our cover.
Basically, my annoyance, though, of this, I'm like, whoa. I realized, I'm like, is that me? Am I like them?
You are like them.
I was like, am I a valley girl? Do I talk like a valley girl?
A little.
Am I basic?
You're a little basic, babe.
Oh my god, the realization is harsh.
The realization is hard. Whatever, dude. You're hot.
But it is exciting. But if to me, it's weird, but it is also exciting because I feel like there's a layer that I didn't even know existed that I was like shutting down of myself.
Yeah. You were
know?
quieting. You just imagine how much you're gonna like fucking vanilla spice lattes.
I will never like those.
Pumpkin spice lattes, though.
I don't like that.
Okay, keep going. I was trying to make Valley Girl jokes, babe. All right, keep going.
I have more class than that.
Well, you married down, all right? You married a Colorado boy. I'm not a high-class, elite New York City, cultured liberal. Well, I probably am pretty liberal, but we're definitely transplants. I feel like you've been... I'm playing with my toe.
As he plays with his toes while we talk.
Oh, my God. No, we're both... I'm going to criticize you a little here. I feel like we're both definitely transplants. We have to... And I feel like you've tried to hide the fact that you're a transplant. Which... It makes sense. You think New York City is the coolest. And
but as a city person, what about as a local here person?
Local. What happened?
Nothing.
A local in the Hudson Valley?
Yeah.
You seem like a transplant. you seem like a transplant that's closer to home. Because like this is like, well, how I think of the Hudson Valley is it feels like the West out east. It feels like Colorado. It gives me that sense we're in nature. It feels like Montana.
Yeah.
Even though the nature is very different, but compared to the city, the values of those people like to go hiking. People like to be outside. People like to play disc golf instead of people like to go to the theater and see art museums, But we're like in the perfect mix of both.
Right. Yeah, so it doesn't make sense. It does make sense on paper.
Makes perfect sense, babe. You should be proud of your heritage.
Yeah, I think I'm realizing that.
Tucson's cool.
I just don't know if I felt like a Tucson girl ever.
Well, maybe you're a Hudson Valley girl. You're just looking to find the Hudson Valley.
Just a girl with a horsey and a lamb chop and a monkey.
Oh, sweet kitten. Where'd Bubs go?
I don't know. They didn't like my story.
I think the cats didn't like the story.
They were both here and then they both left.
I think our energy got a little excited for them. Bubs was trying to take a nap and then we started pseudo fighting. It was fun.
I feel like there was a bow that I had to tie this whole thing up with.
I think the bow, well, for me, the lesson of the story for me is that you have to love your inner valley girl.
That sounds so cheesy and horrible. But I know in my brain, my excitement, self-masochistic brain is like, ha-ha.
Ha-ha.
There's more good stuff to come.
That's true, babe. I feel like as you get comfortable, I feel like we're just getting comfortable with ourselves. I feel
That's
like
what I heard happens as you get older.
You just get comfortable with yourself and you give less of a fuck. I'm really looking forward to the next season of this podcast when we let people listen to it, because I think people I bet we could get some of these girls from this run club. What do you I bet we could get some of the girls from this run club to come on the podcast in season 2. Why are you making faces at me?
Is that what you really want to do?
I'm not saying I want to do that. I'm saying that it is possible. I think we could turn this into a local podcast. We could start hashtagging Hudson Valley. This could be a Hudson Valley podcast, baby.
I don't even know what that means.
It just means it's a Hudson Valley podcast. That's all. We just talk about the Hudson Valley and how great it is.
Oh my God.
We could call this podcast the Hudson Valley Vortex. I feel like we're starting to get our legs under us.
I don't know.
We're having fun. Look at this. It's 42 minutes already. You talked for 41 minutes, babe.
I didn't talk the whole
I'm
time.
just kidding. Babe, I like it when you talk the whole time. That's why I jump in. I pepper the audience with the masculine attention. But, like, you know, you're more interesting than me. People want to hear from you, not me. I'm just trying to bring the bass notes.
Weren't we trying to find the moral of the story?
I told you the moral of the story. You just haven't accepted it.
Is that true?
Well, what do you think the moral of the story is?
I think
Why did you start telling this story? Because you don't look like a nice person right now. I'm trying to save you.
I think that the moral of the story is... I'm going to take it back to Horsey. I think the moral of the story is that there's more to myself inside to be loved.
Yeah, totally.
So there's like a new layer of myself to find, basically, which is exciting because I was getting a little bored of like...
You getting a little bored of yourself?
I was like, that's it?
Is that why we're doing all the drugs?
Don't say that. Don't try to put this on me.
I'm not putting it on you. Kitten. I'm trying to give you affection and tell you I love you here, all right? I love your inner valley girl. I love you that you're from Tucson. I love you. I think that's why why it made sense when we first met each other, because like
I know, but it was the same reaction. I was like, "Oh my God, of course it's you." Okay. Another tall white guy from
you're othering me right now.
Same part of the country as me. No. Well, I think that I did realize.
You just want to be a New York girl so bad. You just want to live in the village.
I thought that was my best me, you know?
I don't think it was your best you. You were in a relationship with a guy that like you were definitely not respecting
I know.
yourself.
I think I'm just realizing like I had this idea of myself. A little part of me was holding on to it. That was the best version of me. And I knew, like, I've been knowing that this whole time that like we're building our own life, right? Like we're building a life that only we could build, that's like created and driven by our values and our dreams, and you know, that's our own very special thing. But I think that there still was a little part that was like, but if I was in the coolest neighborhood in the coolest city of the world.
This is our long debate. What do you mean by cool? Why is the West Village so much better than the Hudson Valley or Denver or like...
Okay, this is what I was saying to my new friend at the 420 party, at the art table, when I started getting all teary-eyed and choked up in front of my 2 new friends, 3 new people, 2 people who I just met at the party.
You're very vulnerable.
And I was like, there's just... I think when you grow up in a place that feels like... I shouldn't say it has no soul, but I guess my soul didn't feel like its dreams were reflected back in what I saw around me. I felt like I didn't see opportunity when I looked around, and I didn't see myself. I just saw like plastic, basically.
Oh, that's why the wheels in your head were plastic.
I know. I just saw like I just felt like plastic coldness. Like it just didn't feel like a place for my soul to be nurtured. And then I went to this like insane city, which is like the one, like, to me, the one like main thing is that people go there to follow their dreams.
Mm-hmm.
And so many artists go there with no money, you know, like hardly anything, and they're like, all they have, it's so cheesy and you hear it all the time, but it's like, it's true. They go there and all they have is their dream.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like to follow their soul's calling, like go down their creative path and find like nourishment for their soul.
Mm-hmm.
And like to go and live in a place that is like the most, it's like the Mecca. I feel like I feel like New York City is the world Mecca for artists. I'm sure there are other amazing places, but it feels to me like the heart of it.
Mm-hmm.
And to get to live in that place and like live and breathe where everyone is in that, it's like after living a life where you were like had none of it and then going to it where it was everywhere, it just and you just felt such joy from it, to then going back to a place that feels a little bit like, there's like, I love the nature here, but there's a lot of it that feels like plastic.
I see.
And I think that is a big piece of the like hard part for me adjusting to living here.
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely a different place.
Yeah. It's definitely a different place, but I think what I'm learning is that there must be something good in that plastic.
That's for sure. There must be.
Something for me to find there. So
definitely.
That's it. I don't have any answers.
No, I think that was a good moral of the story. There must be something for you to find in the plastic. That was very nice, babe. That was a good job.
Yeah.
You took us right to 48 minutes. I think we could probably just like toast out now.
Are you ready to have sweet treat?
I'm ready to have sweet treat.
We're such dirty health people.
You know what's gonna happen now?
What's gonna
You
happen?
talked for this whole podcast, and now that the outro is on you, you're not gonna be able to come
You
up
should
with
do the
anything.
outro then.
Okay, I'll see what I can do.
Do you want to do it?
I don't really. I liked my. Do I have to play both parts?
I can do it.
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Too Much Intimacy. I'm Jester. This is Phoebe. What are you going to leave us with this evening, Phoebe?
The outro is to look at your recycling.
Look at your recycling.
Scratch your testicles.
Scratch your testicles.
And look in the mirror and try to find some good stuff.
That's right, folks. You heard it first. Something about recycling. Scratch your testicles. God damn it. And what was the last one?
You gotta make it up now.
I gotta make it up now? Look in your mirror, scratch the testicles. This is hard. I'm sorry I put you on the spot each time. Anyway, this is... The outro to this.
You can do it. I believe in you.
I think I have to start fresh. I think I have to start a new one. Let's bring this back. You have to play me though.
No one. All right,
no,
everyone.
Yes. Do it right into the camera.
Thank you for joining this week's episode of Too Much Intimacy. I am Jester. This is Phoebe, and now my hot wife is gonna say some things that I'm not gonna remember how to say back.
Okay, the outro is remember what you forget.
Remember what you forget.
Think of something new to say.
Think of something new to say.
And tap your horsey on the head.
Your horsey on the head.
That's right, folks. You heard it first.
You heard it first.
Remember what you forget.
Remember what you forget. Forget what you remember.
Forget what you remember.
And tap your horsey
and tap
on
your
the
horsey
head.
on the head. Say something new and tap your horsey on the head.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for tuning in.
Congratulations.
You guys made it to the end of another episode. See you next time.